Hi, my name is Tom. I am a student at the University of Winchester, studying a Master's in Animal Welfare Science, Ethics and Law. This presentation is titled The End of the Anthropocene. In it, I will be detailing the impacts of animal agriculture on climate change and the subsequent damages to biodiversity. The Earth's climate has naturally changed throughout history, from the glacial expansions of ice ages to periods of subtropical conditions in the Arctic Ocean. Since the late 19th century, the planet's average surface temperature has risen by 1.18 degrees Celsius, with a further 2-degree increase expected by 2050. Whilst this temperature fluctuation may not seem like much, it has brought with it an increase in natural disasters. Heat waves, hurricanes, bushfires and droughts are just some of the catastrophic events that have increased in occurrence. In 2019, 10 climate disasters had already occurred by October, with each respectively exceeding $1 billion in damages and losses. Besides financial losses, these events also threaten the lives of humans and non-human animals. The current anthropogenic rate of a species extinction is 1,000 times more rapid than the expected natural rate of extinction, meaning human activity is responsible for accelerating the sixth mass extinction, unparalleled in 65 million years. Whilst climate change is technically a naturally occurring phenomenon, this current period of warming has a greater than 95% probability to be the result of human activity, with carbon dioxide from anthropogenic activity increasing over 250 times faster than the rate of natural sources after the last ice age. On top of the direct damages to animal populations and habitats from natural disasters, the fluctuating temperatures can disrupt their ecological niches. The accelerated rate means that many species, which have adapted to their environment over thousands of years, must now adapt or migrate approximately 1,000 metres per year to remain in the climate zone that they require to survive. For example, 60% of lemurs, found only in Madagascar, will have their range significantly reduced by a warming of 2 to 4 degrees. In established ecosystems, an adaptive shift for one species may have dire consequences for cohabitants. Furthermore, seasonal behaviours, such as migration, hibernation and breeding, are also affected. Animals use predictable environmental cues for the timing and navigation of these behaviours, and reproduction is most successful when the birth is timed with a period of food abundance. In 2018, the United Nations warned that we have 12 years to act if we wish to limit the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees. It will require a united global effort to meet these targets and a shift in societal values. Globally, economic output has been at the heart of measuring a country's success. Financial wealth and GDP have been the deciding factors of a successful nation. Capitalism has incentivized more intensive systems of production, and animal agriculture has suffered as it tries to meet the demands of a growing human population. The Dasgupta Review, released in February 2021, states that humanity's demands have exceeded the natural world's capacity to supply goods and services, describing nature as our most precious asset. Furthermore, Dasgupta argues that GDP as a method for measuring economic health relies on unsustainable growth and development. The report calls for wealth to be measured in all assets, including natural assets, providing a measure that corresponds with the well-being of current and future generations. Therefore, instead of viewing a vast forest merely as something to plunder for profit, or an animal solely for its use to humans, they would be seen as an independent source of valuable ecosystem services. Rich biodiversity provides the valuable source of ecological services. Flood control, soil management, carbon storage and air purification are just a few of the useful services the natural balance provides. In 1997, the economic value of these was estimated to be $2,928 billion per year, although inflation places this rate at over $4,000 billion today. However, some people argue that the value of biodiversity transcends the need for quantification. It is difficult to put a price on certain values, such as the recreational, aesthetic, and cultural benefits that humans have gained from the natural world. It could also be argued that nature has intrinsic value, independent from its usefulness to humans. Farming livestock animals for food has catapulted the populations of prey species to numbers that would never exist in a natural equilibrium. To put this into perspective, humans and livestock make up 96% of mammals, meaning the remaining 4% encompasses elephants, lions, primates, and the massive array of other mammalian species that exist on this planet. Similarly, poultry comprise 70% of all birds. These figures help to highlight how agriculture has become the leading cause of deforestation worldwide. Large areas of natural habitat are cleared to house livestock, clearing expanses of biological variety, home to rich flora and fauna species, to create a homogeneous agricultural environment. Having such large populations of these animals has contributed substantially to methane and nitrous oxide emissions. Methane, which is mainly produced by enteric fermentation in the digestion process and manure storage, is a gas which has an effect on global warming 28 times higher than carbon dioxide. Nitrous oxide, which also arises from manure storage, is a molecule with a global warming potential 265 times higher than carbon dioxide. Moving to a diet that excludes animal products has the transformative potential to reduce food's land use, greenhouse gas emissions, ocean acidification, and more. Though difficult to quantify, it is likely that the consumption of animal products is the leading cause of the sixth mass extinction. Animal agriculture is a major driver of deforestation, land degradation, pollution, climate change, overfishing, and human-wildlife conflict. Over 3/4 of deforested land in the Amazon rainforest, one of the world's most biodiverse areas, has been converted to farmland. Climate change has initiated a redistribution of wildlife, with a study of 4,000 species showing roughly half are seeking different climates. Land species are moving on average 10 miles per decade, whilst marine species are moving 4 times faster. Endemic mammals are particularly vulnerable to climate change, as they are more likely to be habitat and diet specialists, thus less tolerant to changes. Additionally, island mammals, which are unable to naturally migrate, will be susceptible to any extreme alterations. Furthermore, the sex of most turtles, alligators, and crocodiles is determined by the temperature of the egg post-fertilization. This has the potential to massively impact certain reptile species by causing a skew in sexual deviation. Protecting and restoring biodiversity is a crucial step in adapting to climate change. Maintaining a natural balance of plant and animal life would help with the regulation of greenhouse gases and cooler temperatures. 93.4% of warming occurs in the ocean, meaning a 2-degree rise is enough to eradicate 99% of coral reefs. These reefs are home to 25% of marine life, the highest level of biodiversity of any ecosystem. Besides rising temperatures, they are also damaged by fertilizers and chemical pesticides. Increasing reforestation will provide more trees to photosynthesize carbon dioxide and release oxygen. The world's forest cover could be increased by 1/3 without affecting existing cities or agriculture. Furthermore, using the rewilding technique would allow these areas to restore to a natural equilibrium, providing a diverse habitat for many species at minimal cost and effort. Sustainable animal agriculture development is vital. Feeding livestock less grains could preserve more of these foods for human consumption. In New Zealand, 90% of livestock feed from grazing. Silvopastoral agriculture is a system which combines foraging livestock with forestry and provides carbon mitigation, environmental services, and a less restrictive lived experience for the cattle. Unfortunately, some of the mitigation strategies for improving the climate impacts of animal agriculture call for further intensification of the industry. Breeding for productivity can reduce emissions by increasing feed conversion efficiency and rapid growth rate. However, broiler chickens already grow to market size in 5 weeks, so fast that muscular development grows faster than bone development, resulting in metabolic bone disease, deformities, and lameness. Furthermore, dairy cows, bred for an increased milk yield, are more susceptible to lameness, laminitis, ketosis, and mastitis. Feed production accounts for about 47% of livestock emissions, making it a key target for mitigation. However, increasing the use of concentrates can result in digestive problems for livestock. Enhancing forage feed with nutritionally valuable material, such as clover and alfalfa, can reduce the feed production emissions whilst balancing welfare. As demand for high animal welfare standards grows, it should be imperative that welfare is not compromised in climate change mitigation strategies. So, in what ways can we fight this? The Paris Agreement entered into force in 2016, an almost global effort of 196 countries uniting to restrict global warming to 1.5 degrees. This agreement has the potential to be a landmark in climate action, requiring economic and social transformation. However, there are no set pathways, with each country free to plan their own nationally determined contributions and strategies. New Zealand have replaced GDP as their measurement of economic health, instead adopting a well-being budget with emphasis on sustainability and the health and well-being of their people. The Dasgupta Review has the potential to transform the UK in the same way. As for direct action, integrating livestock, crops and forestry and increasing crop varieties can make them less susceptible to drought and heat waves and improve food security. Agroforestry, which is the establishment of trees alongside crops, can effectively balance agricultural production and environmental protection by improving the quality of air, soil and water, increasing biodiversity and reducing nutrient depletion. Recent years have also seen the development of alternative proteins, although some of these may prove controversial. Many insects provide a source of protein and good fats and are high in zinc, iron and calcium. They also produce significantly less greenhouse gases, can be farmed in all weather conditions, and are more efficient at converting feed into protein. For example, crickets need 12 times less feed than cattle to produce the same amount of protein. Lab-grown meat has the potential to significantly reduce the need for animals in animal agriculture without compromising on taste or nutrition. Although currently an expensive process still in the research stages, this could be a valid solution to climate change mitigation. Finally, plant-based protein sources are steadily increasing, with more products hitting the shelves that are surprisingly realistic in meat, taste and texture. They also provide a wide range of nutrients. Whilst plant agriculture has significantly less climate impact than animal agriculture, sustainable production should still be followed if we are to reduce climate change and preserve biodiversity. Now we've seen some of the ways in which the agriculture industry and our governments can make a change. You may be wondering what you can do to help. Yes, consumer demand has the ability to drive markets, and your individual impact is an important step in fighting climate change. But ultimately, the responsibility lies with producers and the government. However, switching to a global vegan diet has the potential to reduce the land used for crops by 21%, saving an area of land roughly the size of India. This diet change may not be possible or desirable for everyone, but even reducing your meat intake can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by a third. Eating locally grown and seasonal produce also reduces emissions. Finally, you can use your voice to lobby the government for urgent climate action and sustainable agricultural production. Together, we really do have the possibility to make change. So, to summarise, an increasing demand for animal agriculture has made it one of the largest contributors of greenhouse gas emissions. The expansion of animal agriculture has had direct impacts on biodiversity, as well as indirect impacts through the increasing occurrence of climate-related natural disasters, ocean acidification, global warming, and other adverse responses to climate change. Capitalist thought has diminished the value of nature and biodiversity, reducing its worth to that which can be extracted for humans. Global strategies must incorporate new measurements of economic wealth, which include natural abundance. Finally, it is important that climate change mitigation strategies are not carried out at a detriment to animal welfare. Further intensification of animal agriculture is not a suitable option, and alternatives should be adopted. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to leave any comments or questions you may have in the comments section below. Here are the references that I used to gather information for this presentation. The full list will be posted in the description down below.